Oh boy. Thank goodness today's Pavel Mintyukov to Montreal offer sheet video was posted way earlier on in the morning. Because now we have the actual verdict. We know what's gone down between the Ducks and defenseman Pavel Mintyukov. And I gotta say this right here, the Anaheim Ducks are desperate. Elliotte Friedman went out there and posted this earlier this afternoon. Mintyukov and the Ducks are getting an extension done. It will be in the Brandt Clarke range, which is 5 years times $7.4 million. Oh, man. Oh, man. Not only was Frank Saravalli wrong, because he went out there and posted about there being an offer sheet for Pavel Mintyukov. 2:05 p.m. is when he went out there and posted about how there's going to be a deal. 1:59 p.m. is when he said there was going to be an offer sheet. So it took Frank Saravalli 6 minutes to switch up on us. Frank Saravalli was the initial reporter. Elliotte Friedman posted this at 2:12 p.m. Saravalli then went out there and said Mintyukov's new deal in Anaheim, 5 years by $7.2 million AAV, with a $3 million signing bonus in year one. Now, this is really interesting. 7.2 mil. If you were to offer sheet Pavel Mintyukov that amount, you would be giving up a first, a second, and a third round pick in the compensation. This is what Jeff Merrick was talking about, and it was our main point in the video earlier this morning. If you wanted to get Pavel Mintyukov signed to an offer sheet, something in the $4 million range would get you a second-round pick in exchange for compensation. 4.6 to 7.02 mil, that's a first and a third. 7.02 up to 9.3 is a first, a second, and a third. And then it goes up as follows. Frank Saravalli, of course, indicating that there would have been an offer sheet. Who knows what the dollar amount would have been? Who knows what the team would have been, too? Seems like if Pat Verbeek is on Twitter, he's going out there and taking a look at some of the updates from these insiders. It's like, oh, darn it. My guy's going to get offer sheeted again? Well, let's call up the agent. Let's give him whatever he wants. Give him whatever it is he wants. Pete Blackburn said the Ducks are in a world of hurt right now. And that makes sense because Verbeek scrambling to keep his team together, under $10 million in cap, and they still need to sign Cutter Gauthier. Is it really that bad? Oh boy. I must be missing something. If they don't match Leo, then they should have around $30 million in cap space. If they match, then they have 11 to 12 in cap space. With a full roster, Cutter can still get a handsome raise. Well, I don't know if Cutter's going to accept anything in 11-12 range if Leo Carlson gets 18. Isn't that right? Trading Vetrano and Killorn gives them $23 million, even if they match Leo. If they can convince Cutter to sign a team-friendly deal in the $11 to $12 million range by offering a bridge, bonus money, and at least partial trade protection, then the overpay on Carlson is completely negated. Really sorry to tell you, nobody wants Vetrano or Killorn. If you want to attach assets in order to do so, that would just be digging a bigger hole for Pat Verbeek. That is a really interesting way to look at it. The Ducks, with their $9.9 million in projected cap space right now, this is assuming they have Leo Carlson under wraps. Cutter Gauthier still needs a deal. He's offer sheet ineligible, so obviously you're not going to be able to get this guy in the same way that you got Leo Carlson if you're any other team. But if Cutter Gauthier and his agent are like, you guys don't have any money, you don't have enough money to give my client, what does $9.9 million in total cap space available to you? That is not going to get it done. A 40-goal scorer who was young in this economy, maybe 3, 4, 5 days ago, you would have been able to get Cutter Gauthier to $10 million a season, but not now. Now that Leo is making 18, the market has shifted. Adam Fantilli, Macklin Celebrini, Connor Bedard, and especially Cutter Gauthier are looking at these prices saying, we can set ourselves up here. Even if a player goes out there and does the entire, Sidney Crosby, cut from a cloth of a leader, he wants to take less money so his team can win more. If you think about percentage of the cap, Sidney Crosby, his initial contract out of his entry level would have been $17 million if you project it to today's rates. It's all a sham. You're not going to be able to get Cutter Gauthier to any sort of a reasonable deal now, especially since Pavel Mintyukov and Leo Carlson have just signed. The Ducks are in a world of hurt right now. Frank Saravalli, he went out there with the offer sheet angle of it, but still, he corrected it just a few minutes later, talking about the actual contract, $7.2 million AAV by 5 years. Mintyukov had 22 points in 73 games last year, 8 goals, 14 assists, and you're telling me this guy's going to be making more money than Filip Hronek? Like, dude, look at Filip Hronek on his overall talent level. Hronek, $7.25 million a year. This guy was a number 1 power play quarterback this previous campaign in replacement of Quinn Hughes. Anaheim should just flip Hronek and Mintyukov for each other. That would help out the Ducks quite tremendously, would it not? Mintyukov, 6'1", 207, a left-handed defenseman. He, at some point throughout the course of his draft season, was seen as one of the top defensemen in the draft class of 2022. Obviously, we know that he is the second most productive. When you look at just the points, Mintyukov is right up there. He is 10th overall in totality, or no, not 10th overall in totality. That's his draft position. We have to count it manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is the 6th most productive player out of the 2022 draft. Second most productive defenseman. Number 1 was Lane Hudson, who was taken in the second round. But either way, Mintyukov was a guy that some folks thought was good enough to be the top defenseman of the draft class. He was not the top taken one, though. Nemec, Juracek, Korchinski, and then Mintyukov. That was the order of D-men in 2022. Sure, he's a fine player, he's got a bright future, but the production has kind of stalled a little bit. Maybe there's room for him to grow and expand more, especially with the departure of guys like Jakob Trouba and Radko Gudas and Olen Zellweger. The fact that they are missing out on some of these bigger names from yesteryear opens the door to more opportunity for guys like Mintyukov and especially, Jackson Blake. No, not Jackson Blake. What the hell's that guy's name? Jackson Lacombe, exactly. Jackson Blake, that's the Carolina guy. My goodness, I am totally off my marbles today. But either way, it's an overpay for Mintyukov, and they still have to match Leo and pay Cutter. Does not look like that's going to be the full scope of it. Looking more like Leo will be a Flyer. My guess is they negotiate a side trade with the Flyers for like Tippett and Ristolainen, or bundle the picks for a center like Thomas or Pettersson. No, they are not going to go out there and negotiate a side trade with Danny Briere and the Philadelphia Flyers. What are you, nuts? No team's going to be like, hey, so you guys took our number 1 center away, but we want a little bit more. Can you give us some more stuff? Danny Briere has all the right in the world to say, nah, hell nah, you guys were irresponsible in signing your guy. That opened the door for us to do it. We're not helping you out. We're not giving you another player just because you feel bad. Hell nah. We're keeping all the guys for ourselves. That's the point of the NHL. It's a business. You want to build the best team possible whilst lowering the success rate of your opposition. That's the entire point of sports. Either way, Pavel Mintyukov signs a monster deal. It's a huge overpay from Pat Verbeek's side, and it indicates that Rome is falling in Anaheim. Disneyland, y'all better get ready because there may be some sort of a wrecking ball swinging at you soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this Pavel Mintyukov contract extension. $7.3 million AAV by 5 years. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.